Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the new DC Comics Multiverse 6-inch Justice League movie Shirtless Aquaman figure from Mattel. Now this figure is being sold as a Toys R Us exclusive, and it comes packaged in the same style we've been seeing with all the Multiverse figures. Up at the top, you've got the Justice League movie logo, then you've got the DC Comics Multiverse logo, you've got the red and black highlights on the packaging and the figure clearly displayed in the window box. Then down below you've got an image of the character from the movie and the name, and then off to the side you again have an image of the character and a brief bio in multiple languages. And then on the back of the packaging you have a look at all the figures released in the Justice League movie wave. And then it also shows you the pieces that come with the Collect-And-Connect Steppenwolf figure, and this figure does include a piece for that, which we'll get into in just a moment. Alright, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside the packaging along with the other contents. Now the only accessory that this figure comes with is the alternate head for the Steppenwolf Collect-And-Connect figure. So this head sculpt is very similar to the previous one we got. The main difference is you can actually remove the helmet on this one. So here's the regular head sculpt and here's the new one, and you can see as far as the face goes, the overall look is very similar. I kind of like the eyes a little bit better on the regular version, but I do like the overall detailing on this head sculpt with the paint applications and everything. I think they've done a pretty good job. You've got some darker colors, so you got some nice wash effect, and then you've got the ears that are sculpted. So overall I think they've done a pretty solid job. And then again you've got the removable helmet. The helmet looks very similar between the two figures. Again, it's just removable. So there's only, I believe, one scene in the movie where the helmet comes off, if I remember correctly. So basically it does allow you to kind of recreate that scene from the movie. Okay, and then to switch out the heads, if you've got the regular head on the figure, just pop it off. It attaches with the ball joint, should come off pretty easy, and then just pop on the second head, and you might have to twist it a little bit to get it to pop into place, but once you get it on there it should fit nice and tight. And I think overall I like the look of this alternate head a little bit better than the regular head. Again, I do like the eyes a little bit better on the regular head, but overall, you know, I kind of like this helmeted, removable helmet head better. And at first I thought maybe the removable helmet didn't look quite as good because maybe it made the head look a little too big, but I actually think it fits better on the figure than the regular head. Now I will say when you take the helmet off on this one, the head sculpt, just having the head sculpt maybe looks a tiny little bit too small. Maybe this head sculpt without the helmet looks, you know, just a little bit out of scale with the actual figure. But overall, I think it's pretty cool, and especially if you want to kind of recreate scenes from the movie where the helmet comes off and stuff, I think this alternate head is definitely cool to have. Okay, so for the Aquaman figure itself, now this is a representation of Aquaman when he's chatting with Bruce Wayne and he takes his shirt off to jump into the water. So he's basically just wearing regular pants and then obviously no shirt, and he's got all the tattoos sculpted on it. And I think overall they've done a pretty good job. Similar head sculpt to what we saw with the regular version. You've got the little scar on the eyebrow, and you've got the full-on beard and everything. I think the eyes look pretty good with this, and then you've got some wash effect with the hair. The hair is done with that kind of hard rubber type material, so it does limit some of the head movement. So you can see here, here's a comparison between the two head sculpts, the regular version and then this exclusive version. And again, the heads look almost identical, if not exactly identical. You do have some more wash effect in the hair on this regular version, but the sculpting wise it looks pretty much the same. And then as far as the tattoos go, this is very similar to what we saw with the Dawn of Justice version of Aquaman. Now I do want to point out that it looks like he's got a lot more tattoos on his upper body now than what he had with Dawn of Justice. Definitely looks like, you know, he's been taking tattoo lessons from The Rock or something on his arm here. But the overall detail is pretty decent. I do like the skin tone. He even has some nipples there, so for you nipple fans out there. And then again, he's just wearing normal pants, so these are done with a dark grayish type color, and they come down and kind of go over his feet, and then he's not wearing any shoes or anything. So this figure stands about 6.5 inches tall. Here's a comparison with the Justice League Aquaman figure, the regular version with the armor, and then the Dawn of Justice Aquaman figure. And the Dawn of Justice and the shirtless Aquaman seem to be about the same height, and then the armored version seems to be a hair taller. Here's a comparison with the Amazon exclusive Mira figure. And then finally, here's a comparison with some of the other Justice League movie Multiverse figures. Okay, so for articulation on this figure, you can turn the head to the left and the right. Now the hair does limit some of that movement, and you do get a little bit of up and down movement, but not too much. Arms you can get out, attached with your standard ball hinge joint. You've got good rotation there at the arm. You've got a bicep swivel. You've got a single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much. And then you've got rotation at the elbow, rotation at the wrist, but no hinges on the hands. You get an ab crunch type joint, so he can crunch down about that much. And he can only look back about that much. Does not have a waist swivel. Has those hinge joints for the legs, so he can do the splits pretty good. He can get his leg forward about that much, and he can do his leg out and back, but that's about as far back as you can get it. He does have a thigh swivel. He's got a single hinge knee, so he can bend his knee about that much. And then with the feet, you've got hinges, so you've got some up and down movement, but really no rotation and no ankle pivot. And then you've got 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. That's my review. So overall, I would say, even though this isn't really a bad figure, I don't find it to be a terribly exciting figure either. This version of Aquaman just really didn't have a major impact in the movie. You don't really get any kind of accessories or anything for the figure itself. So unless you're a huge Aquaman fan, probably the biggest reason for picking this up would be for the alternate Steppenwolf head. I do like the removable helmet with that and think it looks pretty good on the figure. Now this figure is a Toys R Us exclusive and is available now. We'll have a full image gallery up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.